I had a lot of friends once, people that I trusted, people I laughed with, people I thought would be there forever. But life has a way of showing you who's really by your side. And when I went through my hardest struggles, most of them just left. This isn't a story just about losing friends. It's a story about trust, betrayal, and growth, and learning who you really are. And maybe you'll see yourself in it too. When I was a kid, friendship was simple. You liked someone, you played with them, and that was it. No judgments, no hidden agendas, just pure connection. I remember my first real best friend. We met over a silly reason, and I don't even remember what it was, but we became inseparable. We would spend hours climbing trees, riding bikes, sharing snacks, dreaming about everything. Back then I thought friendship was forever. Losing a friend wasn't even imaginable, but that innocence, it doesn't last. I remember the first time I felt jealousy over a friend. A neighbour got a new bike and I felt left out. We argued and said things we didn't mean. And for the first time I understood that even childhood friends could hurt you. Not because they wanted to, but because they're learning too. And that was my first lesson about life. Even the people closest to you aren't perfect, but it's the good moments that make them unforgettable. Then came the teenage years, and everything changed. Friendships weren't just about fun anymore. They became complicated and messy. I remembered one friend I trusted completely. We shared secrets, dreams, even fears. We had this unspoken bond, and I thought nothing could break it. Then one day, I found out they had said things about me behind my back. Lies, rumors, things that weren't even true. I confronted them, hoping it was a misunderstanding, but they denied it, and just like that, our friendship ended. It hurt, kind of badly, and I realized something. Not everyone who smiles at you is really with you. Some people only stay when it's convenient, and that realization, it stung more than you can even imagine. During those years, I lost a few more friends, not because of fights, but because life was changing. People grow at different speeds, priorities shift, and if you can't grow together, sometimes you grow apart. I remember nights lying in bed wondering, why does this always feel like I'm losing people I care about the most? And then I became an adult. Uni, jobs, responsibilities, life became heavier, and that's when the struggle started. Money was tight, emotional pressure was high, family issues, stress, anxiety, and my friends, many of them started disappearing. Some didn't know how to respond, and others judged. Some pretended to care, but I knew the truth. I remember a night sitting in my apartment alone, staring at my phone. I reached out to people I thought I could trust. Most didn't even reply, and some said, sorry, I'm busy. And others, they just ghosted me completely. It hurts, because this wasn't just losing friends. This was losing people you thought would stand by you in your hardest moment, and they didn't. There were actually nights where I cried alone. Nights when I questioned myself, am I unworthy of friendship? Am I doing something wrong? But eventually I realized that their leaving wasn't about me, it was about them, their inability to handle real struggles. And that was my first step towards understanding true friendship. The worst part wasn't just the struggles, it's the people who vanish when you need them the most. There were friends who promised to stay, who just disappeared. People that I trusted, gone. I remember one night, the hardest night of all, I hit rock bottom. I reached out to someone I considered a best friend, someone I thought would understand. No reply, nothing. I sat there staring at my phone, feeling completely alone. And in that moment, I understood what loneliness really is. Not just being by yourself, but realizing that even the people you love can leave you when life gets hard. And yet, even in the pain, there was clarity. I started to see patterns, people who leave when it's hard. They weren't friends. There were distractions, temporary connections, just noise. And I needed silence. I needed space to grow. I needed myself. Friendship, real friendship, isn't about last parties or convenience. It's about showing up when it matters. Being there when life gets messy. And some people, simply, they're not built for that. They leave not because you did something wrong, but because they can't handle the truth of loyalty. And that's okay. Losing them doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you unworthy. It teaches you who really matters. And that is a gift in disguise. After losing so many people, I had a choice, bitterness or growth. And I chose growth. I started relying on myself. I started valuing honesty over convenience. I started noticing the small gestures, the friends who checked in, the people who really cared. And most importantly, I learned to value myself. Because the strongest friendship you'll ever have is with yourself. I spent years alone, reflecting, learning, growing, and in that solitude, I discovered something powerful. I discovered resilience. I discovered independence. I discovered who I really am. Today, my circle is smaller, but every person in it I trust deeply. I don't need 100 friends, I just need the right ones. I've learned that losing people isn't failure, it's clarity. It forces you to reflect, it forces you to grow, it forces you to become someone who can truly appreciate what matters. And the biggest lesson, never chase friendship, let it come naturally. Let people stay because they want to, not because they feel they have to. The harsh truth is, people come and go. I know there are people in your life that you thought will stay there forever, family, friends, but the harsh truth is, they don't. The people that genuinely want to stay in your life, they will, no matter what you go through. They'll be there for you when you need them the most. And that's one thing I learned. Anyone can be there in your life when you're going through good things. But the real test is people being there for you when you're going through struggles. When you're down, when you've got nothing to offer, those people that stay with you, cherish them, keep them in your life forever. Because those kind of gems, they're very rare to find nowadays. So if you got any of those kind of friends, make sure never to let go. They're one of a kind. If you've lost friends, I want you to hear this. You're not alone. It hurts, yes, but it makes you stronger, wiser, more prepared for life. Cherish the ones who stay. Let go of those who leave. And most importantly, don't lose yourself in the process. I lost a lot of friends, but I found myself, and that is the most powerful friendship you will ever have.